So, hey everybody, I'm jumping on super quick to show you some fun stuff from Pam Bray. Now, she is a friend of mine, a designer friend who has made some amazing products, and she sent them to me, and I'm going to show you guys off, and we're going to demo the rock candy. So I'm going to save that for the very, very end. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is the stamps. Now, she has a whole bunch of stamps. I just picked up a couple of them. This one is all about planners, follows in the air, clean stamps, Blank Page Muse. Link is down below where you guys can get that, but look how cute these are. So you could even do like regular card making with these. They're just really, really sweet little stamps. The other one that she has, this is more of what I would call, shabby chic, kind of grunge, classic Christmas. I just love these. So we've got a deer, we've got a picket fence, we've got some pine needles, we got a little bird, we got a poinsettia. She's got a couple of sentiments. Have a wonderful Christmas full of love, and then flipped around the other way so it fits. Noel, live, joy, peace, may season be full. And you can see them all in here. I mean, this thing is jam-packed. You can see all the stuff. So look how big this deer is. It's massive. It's huge. And then look at this picket fence, and it looks like there's snowdrifts on there, and the poinsettia. So really cool designs on here that are awesome. So these are two stamp sets, two of many, 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 many that she has that are just fantastic. So check those out. We'll be playing with these coming up. She also has just launched her new Christmas paper, Winter and Christmas, from Wild Whisper, which is a Canadian company. Awesome. 6 double-sided sheets. We'll be playing with this one as well. So I'm going to pop this up and so you guys can see them all. This just got launched as well. I got them pretty early. I love it. All right. So, hey, look, that's kind of cool. On the front side, they printed like the front information, but on the back side, they gave you just like a solid red. That's pretty smart. So it's not like a wasted sheet of paper. I think that is just fantastic. All right. So here we have her designs. They're all very graphic. Let's take a look at this one. And then we have, look at that one. Look, all distressed and cool. Very fun. Oh, and then just look at the poinsettias. Very cool. Christmas tree. Here we see a little kitty. That's cool. It's like she took pictures and distressed them, and they turned them into, look, it's like a front door. Pretty awesome. And I love this green one. This one's so cool. It looks like marble or something. That's pretty cool. And then look, this one just looks like it's, how's it supposed to go? Really, truly, it probably doesn't matter. Pine needles and pine cones. Here's like a winter wonderland. Pretty fun. Oh, here's like ice dripping off. So very graphic designs, very realistic. Winter wonderland. You could frame this and just add a picture to it. So there's a lot you could do with those. All right. So what we're going to get into now is her rock candy. Now, what I've noticed is that I've seen tons of her examples of how to use this rock candy, but she only has one really short video. So I'm going to help her out. Let's make a video on how this works. Now, she used a different method. I'm going to grab a couple of sheets of paper here. And look, this is what the rock candy is all about. Look at this dimension here. Do you see that? Do you see how dimensional that is? You see this? And this stuff is pretty well on here. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like a mixture between, it is embossing powder, so you obviously can use all your embossing stuff, but it's kind of like embossing powder / texture all in one. All right, so what I got prepared, sorry, everything's kind of off here. So what I got prepared, and she has said, and she's done it on chipboard, and she said you can do it on vinyl, you can do it on chipboard, you can do it on wood, you can do it on paper. Pretty much anything that you could do embossing on, you can do this on. I loved her idea with the chipboard. I thought that was pretty, just so cool. So we're going to play with that. She used, let me go back. She had an embossing, and I need to get one because I thought it was perfect for these things. I think it's really smart. It was a tube, and it looks like it's a dauber, but it had the embossing liquid inside the dauber. So you could apply it to whatever you wanted, sprinkle the stuff on. And then the whole key with this is layers, lots and lots of layers. So I don't have that embossing tube, that dauber, but I have a stamp pad, which works. And I also have collage medium. So we're going to be playing with both of those. And again, links, I didn't put links for the collage medium Versamark stuff on there, but I did put the link for Blank Page Muse, which has all of her collections of everything. And these are just 2 of the colors that she has of her rock candy. Let me open this up so you guys can see. Look how cool that is, right? So this one is called Spearmint. Very pretty. And then she's got Marshmallow. Marshmallow is really cool too. Look at that stuff. Awesome. And she also had, there's a purple, there's a yellow, there's a red. They're not called those colors. They're actually much nicer sounding colors than what I just said. Now, when she did it, sorry, hopefully I didn't move my camera too much. I just knocked the string there. When she did it with coloring the background first, which is what I did. So here is one where I colored the background on this one. Let me see if you guys can see this. I colored the background on this one, but I did not color the background on this one. I left it raw. Here's another one where I did not color the background, and you can see where it's left, and then I layered it all up. And you can see it's really, well, that's one spot that I didn't get very good, but it's on there. I mean, it's nice and dimensional. Look how thick that is. So it's got nice, good dimension. So I thought I would play with that with the green this time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the difference between, and I have, this is my Get Dirty and this is my Clean. Two different ones. I also have a paddle that I'm using. This came from Totally Tiffany. It's a great little paddle with a clip. And because I'm adding a lot of heat to this, I wanted to put a sheet of paper so I don't ruin my paddle. So we're going to do some stages here. The first step is I'm going to take a little bit of my collage medium. Hang on, I got my brush, which I stuck in the water, and it's probably gross now. And we're going to do it to this one. Now, because of the type of heat gun I have, just going to lightly brush this on here. Because the heat gun that I have, it really blows kind of hard and fast. It's an old Marty Yakuta heat gun. And so I don't have a way to change the pressure of the setting of how fast it's releasing the air. The other cool thing I liked about doing the collage medium is because I could get into kind of the nooks and crannies. And so some of the embossing powder is going to stick inside as well. This one is just pick up and kind of squish it in. And there you go. Or, you know, go the other direction. And then we're going to transfer over here because now that's my dirty site, I guess. So it's got the muckiness on here. So I kind of have, it's kind of like, remember when you're doing all of like the breading of the food, you got your wet hand and you got your dry hand. Well, I got my wet paper and I got my dry paper. That way I don't get my embossing powders all stuck to this. So the cool thing is there's big chunks and then there's little chunks. And so when you first apply it, you're not going for the big chunks. Don't worry about the big chunks. Just kind of plop it on. You're going to dust it off. Make sure you're coated, get the big ones off, and just do a good coating of the little stuff because you want to get that layer on there first. So here you can already tell, painted, not painted. So if you want to do a background that's very different, that's a different kind of a color, like you could do a white background with the green on top, that would look pretty cool. All right, transfer these guys over to here, and then we're going to put this back inside. And we are going to come back to adding those big chunky rocks in a minute. Oops, I better do this on here so I don't get my mat all gross. There's all kinds of cool little trays and stuff. You know what? Paper is amazing. Always cover your lid. I don't know how many times I have screwed that up. And we're going to do this one. Actually, I can probably do these both at the same time. So I have my old Marty Yakuta this thing has been battered and bruised. Let me tell you what, it is gone, but it works great. So I'm going to just keep that. As they fly off. This is why I put my little stick in here, because I can control it better. I don't have to worry about it flying off. And then here. All right, so here you can already tell the difference. Let me slide these back on here. These are going to be hot. Don't touch them right away. Don't burn your fingers. Not for kids. Not for kids. I cannot stress this enough. Not for kids. All right. So here we have the difference. Now take a look already. Because I put the paint on the bottom of this one, you can already tell the difference between the fact that it's got another good layer, whereas this one wasn't so, you know, it's not as obvious or stuff. The white did a pretty good job of actually coating, I would say, on the first try. This was just one layer. That's it. And this one I did 3 layers right here, and this one was 2 layers. So I think the white did actually, no, this is 2 layers. I'm sorry, this one was 2 layers. No, this was the paint in a single layer, and this was 2 layers, no paint. That's the difference. All right, now for me personally, I could not, because my heat gun is so powerful and it shoots so much air. Doing the second layer and adding the big bits does not work with my Versamark. It works with just adding the first layer. Totally cool. But for the second layer, if I want to add the big chunks and get it to be chunky, I need to use this, because I think it's because of my heat gun, truly, because it's just whoosh. There's a short video that Pam has where she just uses the liquid and her stuff stuck no problem. It did move around a tiny bit, but she does not have the power that I do on mine. She's got a newer version. It's the bottom line. Okay, so if you notice, I'm taking a lot of this matte medium and I'm really chunking this thing up because I want this to be chunky. And I'm going to show you a trick that we're going to do. And keep in mind, it's not going to be set immediately. And even like you could totally put this on here and then walk away. And it would set on its own because this is kind of like a glue per se, but it definitely works a lot better when you heat it because it sets it. And the embossing powders that go in between the pieces of rock candy help hold those big chunks in place. That's what I was playing around with and figuring out. So now we're going to do another coat. So this is like a dual coat. Just coat it on there, get it on there, and then flake it off. You can already see some bigger bits starting to stick. Oops, that's fallen off. Now, what I want to do is I want to come in and I want to add some of these big chunks in here. Now, I'm just using some old chipboard that I have a ton of gears, so I thought I would play around with this. But think about all the fun designs. You could do like a scrolly design. I also pulled out, like you could do a bird. You could do the bird all big and chunky. I mean, that's ideas are endless on this. So here we go. Look, this one's got some nice big chunks that are already set on here, right? And then this one's got, I think I need to add, and this is where you can kind of play around. I think I need to add just a little bit more. I want to add another chunk, but there's nothing for it to stick to. So I'm going to, some more. I'm going to layer this up a little bit. Add some more and then add another chunk right there. There we go. And then you're good to go. So you can kind of have a little bit of some, I don't know, for lack of a term, finesse and placement if you use a thicker gel versus a really liquidy, which is what embossing powder is. It's a liquid. So whereas this is more of a gel, and there's other versions. I just happened to grab this one first. So I was going to play around with that and see all the different fun things I had on hand. All right, we're going to do these one at a time because I don't want it to fly off. So we're going to just stick my little thing right here. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm going to go directly down on it so they don't fly off. And don't touch it. It's like molten lava. And then there's that one. And we're going to come in and do this one. And I don't think you guys can see this, but it starts bubbling and cracking and starts like basically looking like molten lava on there. So ask me how I know don't touch it. Seriously. I learned the hard way. I burnt my finger. I was like, oh, it's got to be cool by now. Or actually, I thought it was cool. And one of the little doodads, one of my little rock candy pieces popped off. I was like, oh, let's put it back. And I didn't have this. And I was like, getting my finger in there. Yeah, big mistake. Big mistake. Silly me. All right, so letting those two cool down. Oh no, there's a phone call. Don't answer, don't answer. Don't want to talk. I'm sorry, I'm live. Why does everybody want to call me? Nobody's called me all day. And then as soon as I go live, people call me. All right, still not touching that. I'm too paranoid now. Give it a couple minutes. Oh my gosh, that just was so hurtful. That hurt so bad. So amazing stuff. I'm just going to clean up my little bits and pieces. You know, I'll be playing with this. Gently move those off to the side there. And once they're set on there, they're set on there. That's pretty cool. Sorry, I was just putting all my stuff away. So we got new papers from Wild Whisper with Pam Bray. We've got these really cool little rock candies. Again, lots of colors. And then a couple of stamp sets. So you know that I'm going to be making some cards with this stuff and having some fun. Oops, that's totally off camera there. Here we go. So let me move these little guys out of the way. They're kind of fun. Okay, here we go. Yeah, they're good now. That didn't take that long. But look how cool they are. And just think of all the fun dimensions that you could have fun with that. So you don't have to put it on an object. You could totally add it to the corner of a paper. You could add, so for instance, one example I was going to think of is I have this stamp it in brown, and then down here where the snow drifts, that would look so cool with the rock candy because then it would look like snow on the bottom there. Don't you think that's coming? That is totally coming. And then obviously the deer would be in there. So that's kind of where my mind is going. Maybe even in with all and have the holly going. So lots of fun, kind of like mixed media, textury, just goodness is the bottom line. So link is down below. Show Pam some love. She's worked hard on getting all these items up and running. She's got lots of other stamps, not even holiday stamps. She doesn't have everything Christmas. She's got stuff that's just everyday kind of things. So check those things out. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye-bye, everybody.